there's a special welcome to the CIPC staff, Advocate Fuller on my right, and then also to our staff and board members. We've got some that apologized, but they'll be seeing this live stream. Marie Kriegel, and we've got Salvin from Stanbank, who's also a board member, and David Ferreira. So welcome to all of you also being here. And then we've got a couple of members there at the back as well. So thank you very much for joining us with this occasion. My name is Jaco de Jager. I'm the CEO of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. And as you would know, we sign from time to time MoUs, specifically with institutions that we can collaborate with. That's professional organizations, regulators, as well as those that's involved in fraud prevention, detection, investigation, and governance. It is my honor to have the advocate here today to sign this MoU. This is something that has been discussed earlier this year at our Imbizo in March, where we had a guest speaker from CIPC who entertained us, who taught us, and also guided us. And through the process, it was a requirement or request from the members to have a formal MoU in place with CIPC. We'll talk a little bit about that now. And to also do this as quickly as possible. Now, through the speaker and through the Commissioner's office, this is now a reality. We are signing this agreement in order to collaborate, to take things forward, and to address specifics such as looking at systems that we've got that can enhance and assist them in doing what is expected from them. Look at continuous professional development on both sides, their staff as well as our members, so that we can learn from one another, that we can look at matters that we have mutual interest and where we deem relevant in the fulfillment of both parties' legal responsibilities and obligations. So in general, we're going to collaborate, addressing beneficial training and awareness programs that relates to combating fraud and corruption, which includes, but it's not limited to, money laundering, financing and terror financing. We will be looking and discussing on ways that we can collaborate on specific projects. Fraud prevention awareness campaigns is one example where we will work together to create more awareness with the public, because that's both our mandates is to look after the interest of the public and to protect it, and by doing so also protecting our country. Assist with mentorship programs, from our side, leadership programs, and then also we agree to provide training, access to tools, and various other aspects that relate to fraud prevention, detection, and investigation. I'm excited about today. I'm excited not only as a professional body, but for our members. We've been talking about beneficial ownership. We've been talking about the registration of companies, shelf companies being used for fraudulent purposes. And by taking hands, I do believe that we can win the war. That's what collaboration is all about. So from my side, I want to hand over to you, and I want to thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you very much, Jaco, and it is a pleasure for us as CIPC to be here. One of our core values and what we have a passion for is to make sure that we collaborate with the right partners. Many people know CIPC mainly for registering of companies. I think that's one of our core mandates. But But actually, one of the fundamental aspects of the Companies Act was to create a regulator in the CIPC. And therefore, when we get together with organizations such as yourself, it enhances our reputation as being a credible regulator. But also, as Jaco rightfully said, it creates certainty in our market, that when we look at aspects of fraud-related criminality, the CIPC takes it very seriously and we require verification of data. One other aspect that is vitally important is the timeliness of this particular collaboration, because we are fighting this grey listing battle, as you all know. The beneficial ownership register, for which we are responsible for, just to say that we've got over 850,000 individual applications and transactions of beneficial ownership on our register currently. But we need to increase that. We've got 3 million entities in the register, so we really need to make sure that it goes up at least 50% before we get our next peer review by the Financial Action Task Force. One area that we are required to prove to the FATA is that we have elements of cross-transactional verification of data and make sure that we have credible data on the beneficial ownership. Otherwise, it's junk, right? People can pitch anything, they want to make sure that they've applied, but the money launderer can continue doing what it does. And the way that we do that is by having these type of collaborations, right? And we've got quite a few of them that speak to trying to enhance the integrity of our data. We also collaborate with partners who are better than us in certain things, all right? And when it comes to the aspects of fraud investigations and fraud training specifically, you guys are far better than we are. This is your core competency, right? So that's why part of the MoU that we're signing today is the training aspect, which we're very excited about. There are a whole cadre of investigators at the CIPC, very credible investigators. They do a lot of work. I always say to many people out there, I don't sign registration certificates, obviously not, because it's thousands and thousands. But I sign investigation reports every single day. It's the majority of things that I sign, because there is obviously an increase in the proliferation of certain complaints and also investigations that are required the CIPC to undertake. I'm glad to have my colleague Joey, who's very passionate about this area, leading and close to the team. Joey is also the lead on the Interdepartmental Committee on grey listing, and he's very instrumental in trying to get us out of that particular hurdle. Just to touch on the areas of that of the grey listing area, and that is the reason why this is quite timeless. The CIPC is responsible for two areas. One is the creation of a beneficial ownership register, and that we've done. Like I said, now we continue to, as we're sitting here, people are filing and making sure. So that the area we collaborate and see what sort of bad filings that go on, and make sure that we investigate those. And the second part is that we need to make that data available and make sure that we have coverage of the data, and we also disclose that data to law enforcement and the like, etc. So those are the two areas that we're responsible for, and we're quite confident that we'll cross that hurdle when we get there with our next review, which is coming up in January of next year. South Africa is very close to getting out of the listing. We're confident that we will get out there. But it's these type of collaborations that speak to how we as South Africans look at making this ecosystem of regulation work. And that's exactly what it is. The world is a changing and evolving place. And one thing that's evolving is transparency. All right, it's opening up. Before we had to look at how areas were closing down. People were really concerned about privacy and all of that, which is very important still. But when it comes to the world of business and the world of work, transparency is the name of the game, and that is the reason why the FATF looks to how transparent is your economy. All right, so in order to move away from criminality and aspects that require enhanced scrutiny. And therefore, we're glad that we are able to do such collaborations, and we're very glad that we are able to work closely as South Africa Inc. in providing credibility to our economy and to our system. So we thank you very much for that as a CIPC.
We will go over now to signing the certificates and then the handing over process for both the certificate as well as the MoUs.